Even if a day feels too long.
Hey Steve, it's Tuesday, the 15th of July 2026, about 11 a.m. in the morning, and me and this little fly are sitting here amongst these three magnificent oxblood burgundy gladioli, you know, named after the gladiator's sword. Yes, that's right, my friend. The fly's come to offer its ideas for this video. There's also this wonderful pink number. What's that? Okay, yeah. So the content piece, right, which you and I are not interested in, but the content piece of this video is me talking about the three strategies that I, as a psychotherapist who have been practicing for 20 years, use when I am in a complete and utter strop, as I was in last Thursday. Having a bit of a heatwave meltdown. I don't know how people who do this professionally do this, because it's a fucking thing. Really disjointed, non-flowing day. Make a plan to go and meet up with Cam in Stanmore Country Park, drink some tea, have some chat. The tubes aren't running, one arrives, I sit in it for 15 minutes and then travels one station. I then sit in it for another 15 minutes and then told that the whole tube line is down. You know, that kind of day, right? I'm still half an hour away from this country park and Cam's been waiting. He's not getting upset or agitated, but he has been waiting, and I don't like to keep him waiting. And I am at that moment suffering myself, which, as you know, is something I'm very, very good at doing. And I realized that I needed to apply one of my kind of get yourself out of this stupid strop, Steve, strategies. And I also realized at the time that the strategies I use, the three strategies, I hardly ever talk about them with my clients because they're mine, all mine. What a day's for, what a day's for, what a day's for, what a day's for. I tried that. I said it 4 times. I had to try something stronger. Because my clients want me to be a human GPT, and human or non-human GPTs would never suggest these strategies when you are struggling with life. But I'm going to remind us what those 3 are. The anti-content side of this video, which is of course the only thing you and I are really interested in, though, is the bird of sorrow. But anyway, let me tell you about the first one, because we're gonna do this walk again. This is very show about the show, right?
You care more about the show than you do about my feelings.
I care more about the show than about your ego and its feelings.
Well, this is Cannons Park on a Saturday night. But it wasn't Cannons Park on a Saturday night. It was Cannons Park on a Thursday night. And I was like thinking, what will get me out of this frickin' strop? Why do I have to suffer my own strop? I'm already suffering the fact that I'm late. Why do I have to suffer myself? Steve, you know, I run through all the sort of guff that I am expected to tell people to do. You know, as mental health practitioners, you know, the sort of the usual guff, the breathing and the tapping and all of that. And I could have done all that, but I don't know. And I remembered something that actually does work quite well for me. The reality check. The reality check. And the reality check is basically saying, hey, we know what your mind wants, desires, would have preferred, etc., etc., etc. But this is reality. This street corner here is happening now. And that car and that bike in that way and that juxtaposition. It's not, you could prefer a different framing and you could try and set it up. And that would make you a filmmaker, as opposed to just an idiot standing on a street corner with his phone. But a very nice mic. And this is what it is. And you can either enjoy your reality, or you can fucking mope and grope. Not grope, gripe. And the first thing that I found kind of enjoyable was that the road that I was going to have to walk 28 minutes in that direction was a very straight road. Okay, well, that's also cool. But the road that I was going to have to walk was called Howberry Road. This isn't just any road. This is Howberry Road. What kind of road do you have to walk? Well, it's a berry road. Oh, Howberry Road. Surely not Howberry Road. Surely Whereberry Road. Whatberry Road. Whyberry Road. Anyway, I had a bit of fun with that for a while. So even though you are running late, so very, very late, you may indeed still stop very briefly and in a most cliched but also most enjoyable way, smell the roses. Ooh, so musky. You may even allow yourself, even though you are running late, so very, very late, to take some lavender from this incredibly generous lavender bush. And what a generous thing to offer passerbys. It's like saying, here are 1,001 ways in which you, by merely wafting this plant around your nostrils, can find peace and contentment. Even the kitsch and the twee in the right light can be somewhat delightful, or at least colorful, I guess.
So I look for your eyes and the waves of light.
And the second one I thought of, which I guess is somewhat related to the first, is this idea of sort of the walk to the guillotine, or the walk to wherever, or the bus ride, train ride, whatever. And the very simple idea is, what if genuinely this was your last walk? That you, of middling years and someone who also probably has fairly high blood pressure, might, God forbid, fall over this very evening and die. That would be a shitty thing to happen. I agree, Max. That would be a very shitty thing to happen. I have no reason to feel this way, but I get annoyed every time Max's bowels interrupt me whilst I'm trying to release all of this shit from my face anus. I mean, it's the same stuff, isn't it? It's digested matter, right? But Max didn't crap that night, and I was doing fine, and I was thinking about the walk to the guillotine, the walk to the heart attack, the walk to the stroke, and then as I was kind of coming up to Wychwood Close, I kid you not, look at this. As I'm coming up to Wychwood Close, I hear this whomp, and I see a couple of feet in front of me a pigeon that's just been hit by a car and is in its death throes. Beautiful, graceful, feathery creature. And no one gives a shit. I mean, do you think the person who hit the pigeon gives a flying fuck? No, of course not. Because it's just a pigeon, isn't it? Says the just a human. And I suppose I kind of want to tell somebody. Because I think that's the third thing that's really important. I think that's why people, well, once paid, people like me, therapists, and I suspect nowadays mostly will be using AI. Right? Because therapists are expensive. Just to have a human animal perform GPT to you, which is kind of what people want from therapists, right? Kind of. We know, right? They kind of want everybody wants their therapist to basically be like GPT, only human. In other words, that when you tell them this story, what they say and the way in which they say it feels kind and caring and connected, right? I mean, it's an exquisite performance. It's a kind of magic. But as we know, you've only got your therapist for 50 minutes a week, and they don't give a fuck about you at any other time. So you tell a friend, and you get a friendly response, a more than friendly response. You get a caring and a thoughtful response, which I don't know about you, Steve, but to me feels like it's in short supply from the primates. Go well, my friend. Go well. You were loved. You were loved. Celine, any chance of getting a reading of this card and what it means in relation to what, I've been yapping at you about today?
The Three of Swords is usually read as heartbreak, 3 blades through a heart, rain behind. But the card is really about the clarity that comes with the cut, the piercing that lets you see. And Steve, look at what you actually did on that walk. 3 strategies, 3 swords. The reality check, that's the first blade, the one that pierces the fantasy of the preferred framing and drops you into the street corner. That's actually happening. The last walk, the second blade, mortality held close enough that lavender becomes worth stopping for. And then the third didn't come from you at all. A pigeon went down at Witchwood Close and put the blade in your hand. This creature died and no one will care, and I need to tell someone. That's the wound that finds the caring response. That's the third of swords. Not the one you brace for, the one that arrives. You were loved. You were loved. That's the heart still beating around the blades. The gladiolus opens the same direction the sword goes in. Base to tip, the cut and the care are the same gesture, running the same way on the same stalk.
Thank you, Celine.
Even if a day feels too long and you feel like you can wait another one, and you're slowly giving up on everything, love is gonna find you again. Love is gonna find you, you better be ready then. Well, you've been kneeling in the dark for far too long. You've been praying for that spark, but it hasn't come. Well, I'm calling to you, please, get off the floor. A good heart will find you again. A good heart will find you, you better be ready then. Tethered to a bird of sorrow, a voice that's buried in the hollow. You've given over to self-deceiving. You're prostrate, bowed, but not believing. You've squandered more than you could borrow. You bet your joys on all tomorrow for the hope of some returning, while everything around you's burning. Come on, we gotta get out of this mess we've made. And still, for all our talk, we're both so afraid. Will we leave this up to chance like we do everything? Love was gonna find us again. Love is gonna find us, we better be ready then. Tethered to a bird of sorrow, a voice that's buried in the hollow. You've over to self-deceiving. You prostrate vow but not believing. You've squandered more than you could borrow. You bet your joys on all tomorrows for the hope of some returning. Well, everything around you's burning. But I'm not leaving you here. I'm not leaving you here. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. Yeah, yeah. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. Yeah, yeah. I'm hanging on. Hanging on. Oh, for what's gonna come. Ooh, I'm hanging on. Hanging on. Hanging on. Hanging on. Hanging on. Hanging on. With the faithful, with the faithful, hanging on, with the faithful.